Have you ever looked at the world around you and felt a sense of unease? A feeling that things are not quite right? That we are standing on the edge of something immense? This is a feeling shared by many people throughout history. It is a question that has echoed through the ages. Are we living in the end times? This isn't a new idea. It is a story as old as civilization itself. It is a narrative woven into our most ancient texts and whispered by prophets long gone. These stories speak of a final chapter for humanity, a time of great change and upheaval, a time that, to some, looks uncannily like our own. The idea of a world-ending event is not confined to one culture or one religion. It is a universal human concern. Consider the Bible, a book that has guided billions. In its pages, particularly in books like Revelation and Daniel, we find detailed prophecies. These passages describe a sequence of events leading to a final judgment. They speak of wars, famine, pestilence, and a world turning away from faith. List chunking, media group, battlefield scenes, dry, cracked earth, medical mask on abandoned street stock. Distribute equally, wars, famine, pestilence, a world turning away from faith. They paint a vivid picture of a time when humanity's journey reaches its dramatic conclusion. These ancient words were written thousands of years ago, yet they continue to resonate with people who see their world reflected in the scriptures. But the story doesn't stop there. Long before the Bible was compiled, other civilizations were wrestling with the same fears. Archaeologists have unearthed ancient Assyrian tablets, clay records from a mighty empire. These tablets, inscribed with cuneiform script, contain dire warnings. They speak of a time when the world would be in chaos. They predicted that children would disrespect their elders, that justice would disappear, and that the world itself would be in a state of decline. List chunking, media group, old artwork of rebellious children, ancient courtroom illustration, clay tablet with dire warnings, a stock, a distribute, equally. Children would disrespect their elders, justice would disappear. The world itself would be in a state of decline. It is a startling thought that people living nearly 3,000 years ago envisioned a future that sounds so familiar to some observers today. They saw a pattern, a cycle of rise and fall, culminating in a final, troubled age. And then there are the mystics, figures who claimed to see beyond the veil of time. Perhaps the most famous of these is Nostradamus, the 16th century French astrologer and physician. His book, Les Prophéties, is a collection of poetic quatrains. These cryptic verses are said to predict future events. People who study his work claim he foresaw revolutions, great wars, and the rise of powerful tyrants. List chunking, media group, old paintings of revolution, historical footage of world wars, dramatic images of tyrant statues, stock distribute or equally, revolutions, great wars, the rise of powerful tyrants. His followers believe he described a period of immense global strife that would precede a new era. Whether you see him as a true prophet or just a clever writer, his enduring popularity shows our deep-seated fascination with what the future holds, and our fear that it might be coming to a close. So, what are these signs that the ancient texts and mystics warned us about? They are not abstract concepts. They are specific, tangible events and conditions. One of the most common themes is a world in moral and physical decline. The prophecies speak of a time when the earth itself would groan under the weight of human action. We see this echoed in the headlines of today. We hear constant talk of environmental crises, of melting ice caps, and of our planet's climate changing in unpredictable ways. The ancient warnings about the Earth suffering seem, to some, to be coming true before our very eyes, as if the planet itself is signaling that something is profoundly wrong. Another sign, consistently mentioned across different traditions, is the rise of selfishness and a loss of compassion. The prophecies describe a time when people would become lovers of themselves, a time when empathy would be in short supply and everyone would look out only for their own interests. Does this sound familiar? We live in an age often described as individualistic, an era where community bonds can feel weaker than ever before. People are connected digitally, yet many feel more isolated. The focus on personal gain, on wealth, and on status above all else seems to be a perfect match for the warnings about a self-absorbed final generation. Then there is the sign of persecution. Many prophecies, especially those within religious texts, speak of a time when people of faith would be ridiculed and attacked for their beliefs. They predict a world that becomes hostile to the very idea of a higher power. Today, in many parts of the world, holding on to faith can be a difficult path. Believers often feel misunderstood or marginalized by a society that seems to value science and materialism above all else. This growing tension between the secular and the sacred is seen by many as another checkmark on the prophetic list, another sign that the predicted age of conflict is upon us. Finally, the prophecies speak of a loss of knowledge and wisdom. Not in a literal sense, as we have more information at our fingertips than any generation before us, but a loss of true understanding, of moral clarity. The Assyrian tablets warned of a topsy-turvy world where everything would be backward, where good would be called evil, and evil would be called good. We live in what many call a post-truth era, where facts are debatable and objective reality seems to be slipping away. This confusion, this inability to agree on basic truths, is seen by some as the ultimate sign of a society in its final disoriented stages. When we connect these ancient signs to our modern world, the picture becomes even clearer for those who believe. Let's start with the prophecies of wars and rumors of wars. It is a chillingly accurate description of the 21st century. We are rarely without a conflict flaring up somewhere on the globe. We watch wars unfold in real time on our screens, creating a constant state of anxiety and uncertainty. The threat of global conflict, involving powerful nations with devastating weapons, always seems to be just over the horizon. This perpetual state of unrest, this drumbeat of war, is one of the most powerful arguments for those who believe we are in the end times. The prophecies also speak of natural disasters. They describe floods, earthquakes, and famines in diverse places. In recent years, it seems we have been battered by a relentless series of catastrophic events. We see historic floods inundating entire cities, wildfires raging across continents, and droughts threatening the food supply for millions. While these events have always happened, their increasing frequency and intensity make people wonder, are these just random occurrences? Or are they part of the pattern the prophets foretold? For believers, these are not coincidences. They are the earth itself crying out, just as the ancient texts predicted it would. Consider the breakdown of the family and societal structures. The Assyrian tablets warned that children would no longer respect their parents. The Bible speaks of a generation that is disobedient and ungrateful. We can see reflections of this in our modern society. The traditional family unit has changed dramatically, and there is a sense that the generational bonds that once held society together are fraying. The wisdom of elders is often dismissed, and a culture of radical individualism can sometimes put personal desires above family and community obligations. This societal shift is seen as another piece of the puzzle falling into place. And what about the rise of a single global system? Many end-time prophecies, particularly in the Book of Revelation, describe a future where a single power controls the world's economy and government. 100 years ago, this idea would have seemed like pure fantasy. But today, we live in a deeply interconnected world. We have a global economy where a crisis in one country can affect everyone. We have international organizations that set rules for the entire planet. The technology for a global identification system, for a cashless society where every transaction is tracked, is no longer science fiction. It is here. This convergence toward a unified global system is, for many, the most compelling sign of all. So, when we gather all these threads, a powerful argument emerges. We have ancient prophecies from multiple unconnected cultures. These prophecies all describe a final age for humanity. They list a specific set of signs: a world in decline, constant war, natural disasters, a rise in selfishness, persecution of faith, and a breakdown of society. Then, we look at our world today, on this very day, February 13th, 2026. We see a world grappling with environmental crises, global conflicts, unprecedented natural disasters, and deep social divisions. The parallels are hard to ignore. The logical connection is straightforward. It is a matter of pattern recognition. If the prophets of old laid out a roadmap to the end times, and our current world seems to be following that map precisely, it is reasonable to conclude that we might be arriving at the destination. This is not about fear-mongering. It is about observation. It is about connecting the dots between what was written thousands of years ago and what we see in the news every single day. For a growing number of people, the evidence is becoming too overwhelming to dismiss as mere coincidence. It is a sobering thought. The idea that we might be the generation that witnesses the final chapter of this great human story. It forces us to ask profound questions. What is our purpose? How should we live in light of this possibility? It encourages a shift in perspective, away from the trivial and toward the things that truly matter: kindness, faith, and our connection to one another. Whether the prophecies are literally true or not, they serve as a powerful mirror, reflecting our anxieties and forcing us to confront the state of our world and our role within it. The theory of the end times challenges us to live more consciously and with greater purpose. So, are we living in the end times? I cannot give you that answer. That is a conclusion you must reach for yourself. But the signs are there, for those who choose to see them. The whispers from the past have become the headlines of the present. I thank you for joining me on this journey through time and prophecy. Exploring these big questions is what pushes us forward. If you found this exploration valuable, please consider liking, subscribing, and supporting our work so we can continue to ask the questions that matter most. Thank you for reading.